Hey guys, J4 here from htwarrior channel, the channel where I showcase my personal interests in hobbies and tech. So before we continue, I wanted to say thank you to Mr. MD, one of our benefactors. Without his patronage, we wouldn't have this A.E.G to cover. Behind me I have the G&G GS550. It's an A.E.G released back in 2009, and it's being an A.E.G, it means it's battery powered. It features a long fore-end and barrel. It's good for those looking to build a DMR. It has built-in bipods here, but it doesn't seem like you can adjust the height. And it has a rear folding stock, a bit tough to turn, which it doesn't want to right now. It's not working. It features this folding hollowed out stock here, and it has a top rail to mount optics and adjustable sights. It also has a rotating, or rotary hop-up mechanism, and a very sturdy and detailed build. Oh yeah, magazine. I don't even have the magazine.
Whatever, man. So, cut na.
Whoops, I forgot the magazine. Yeah, so it has this clear 30 round low cap magazine, which looks pretty cool because it has mock bullets showing through. And it also has a extended follower to ensure that you feed all the BBs. And check it out. That's the G&G SIG GS550 with the magazine. So for this segment, we're going to be talking about the build quality of this thing, because this thing is really sturdy. Save a few things, which I find a bit finicky, and that's the selector on the right side. Actually, on the left side it's quite solid, but on the right side it's a bit floppy. It's held in by a grub screw, and that might come loose at some point, which lends itself to this wobbly feel right now. The next thing that I'm not so sure about is the locking mechanism on this folding stock. It doesn't unlock easily, and sometimes that could lead to undue stress on the rear stock. Where it gets full marks is in the details, actually. There's a lot of lines and curves on the receiver. The material used seems to be very solid, and there's not much flex. If you look at the ejection port, the mock ejection port that covers the rotary hop-up, it's very detailed. It has a lot of moving parts, and it actually retracts all the way back through what seems to be a rubber dust shield, which is a nice detail there. What else? We've got a lot of markings on the sides, and we've got a gas tube here, which acts as a shroud for the battery, so you don't see the battery or wires like you do in some other airsoft models. And yeah, it has a very narrow profile and feels very sturdy with no rattles or creaks or wobbles. Almost very real, or realistic rather. And yeah, quite sturdy overall. So let's take it out in the Chrono. So this is a Chrono. It measures the plastic pellet velocity. So here we have a pellet, and the way it works is the pellet goes through and we get a reading. So when taking a Chrono reading, you want to make sure that the hop-up setting is at the lowest possible, and it is, and that's that. So loading this was a real pain. I didn't have a speed loader or a loader on hand, so it was more difficult. But I think we have a fresh mag now and we're ready to shoot. So we're getting a muzzle velocity of 372 feet per second at the highest. So there we have it. We took the G&G SIG GS550 to the Chrono, and after a couple of shots, it stabilized at around 370-ish FPS. It's a tad low, but the biggest problem I saw was that the trigger response was kind of slow, too slow for my taste. Now, this A.E.G isn't stock, and last time I heard they put a heavy spring on it, and I think they used torque up gears. Now, torque up gears are good at pulling heavy spring loads, but they're very slow, which could explain that slow trigger response. They've since downgraded the spring just so that they don't hurt people. But yeah, I think the slow trigger response from those torque up gears are still affecting the overall feel. Mr. MD, our benefactor, he's lent us this A.E.G so that we could tune it. Now I'm aiming for a faster trigger response and a moderately high FPS or muzzle velocity rating. So a couple of things to keep in mind is that this A.E.G uses quite a small type of battery. Well, not too small, but it's a stick type battery. And stick type batteries usually have a low discharge rate. That could lead to difficulty in attaining that crisp trigger response with a heavier spring. The wiring structure of this A.E.G is broken up into different segments. Now we've seen the segmentation in the wiring up top here, where the battery connects to the upper receiver. If you look down here, we've got more terminals. Now we've got it between the gearbox and the receiver. Now I'm not such a fan of segmented wiring. If possible, I'd rather have one solid circuit. We haven't stripped this down yet, so I can't say for sure, but I'm hoping that we don't run into any problems with power delivery. With dimensions like these though, I can see why G&G might have been forced to go with a solution like this. We have a really nice A.E.G here, lots of detail, very sturdy build quality. I think it'll be really great for those trying to go for that sniper or DMR type of look. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed Mr. MD's contribution, and look forward to the following videos where we're going to try to take it apart and tune it up. So that's it for this one. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.